Good morning, everybody. How are you? We hope that you're well. We hope that things are as well as they can be in these troubling times, and that you and your families are coping with the anxiety of not knowing what is going to come next. Beloved Saitlanders, one thing is certain. The next few weeks, and I'm recording this video on the 2nd of November 2020, the next few weeks, months, and perhaps years are going to be nothing if not tumultuous. There's just too much going on for it to be or to become once again business as usual. There are too many ingredients, there are too many contributory factors, there are too many unknowns, there are too many things at play globally and here in South Africa. As some of you know, I spend a significant amount of time researching financial and political developments all over the world. And one of the most noteworthy things to observe over the past few months has been how so many mainstream economists, financial journalists, and financial players have begun to comment on what is happening in the world, all of the stuff that you and I know, the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdowns and the ructions in the stock markets and financial markets that began long before COVID-19, and for which it seems the COVID-19 pandemic and its consequent lockdown may purely be a cover, are commenting negatively on all of these things. In other words, they're speaking ominously now about the future. They're no longer talking about V-shaped recoveries, you know, when the markets fall like that and then they bounce straight back up in a V-shape. They're talking about prolonged problems. They're talking about consequences for many years to come. And that brings me to the real subject of today's video. I'm going to digress slightly. On the 1st of May, that's something like 7 months ago, Jacques Poe, the veteran journalist and the author of the book The President's Keepers, wrote a piece on Cape Talk, on the Cape Talk Radio's website, capetalk.co.za, entitled Jacques Poe explores alleged links between the cigarette ban, Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, and Adriano Mazzotti. The subtitle is Veteran investigative journalist Jacques Poe suggests that there could be a more sinister plot behind the continued cigarette ban. On Wednesday, so a few days before, very late in April, that would have been 1 month into the lockdown, Cooperative Governance Minister Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma announced the decision to extend the ban on cigarette sales despite earlier assurances from President Cyril Ramaphosa that the ban would be lifted. We have to look at politics. We all know in which camp Dlamini-Zuma is. there is a nexus between her and Ace Magashule and even the EFF. I'm going to come back to that. Why did Dlamini Zuma and the Command Council do it? Because they haven't given us any good reason. And now in early November, this was written on the 1st of May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 6 months later, we still don't have a persuasive or convincing explanation for that dramatic move. But Jacques Pau infers that the cigarette ban could be motivated by Dlamini Zuma's alleged ties to alleged illicit tobacco kingpin Adriano Mazzotti. Mazzotti allegedly funded her presidential campaign, etc., etc. Mazzotti has also funded the EFF, etc., etc. And then he describes the substantial connection between Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma and Adriano Mazzotti. This is a reminder that what is happening around us in South Africa today is no accident. It coincides very much with the conclusions that have been reached recently, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 years after Saitlander's leadership reached the same conclusions under Mr. Miller's direction. That the economic freedom fighters are by no means an independent actor. That the economic freedom fighters is strongly connected to the African National Congress, and that has been borne out by utterances from the Institute for Race Relations in recent weeks and months. It is becoming clearer and clearer that the political core or cause, if you think of competing centers of power within the African National Congress, but that among those cores, there is a core which has indisputable links to the economic freedom fighters. And we know that the economic freedom fighters is the entity that has agitated for farm murders in South Africa and agitated on Friday the 16th of October for farms to be burned down. By now you have all seen that song being sung or being led by Mbuyiseni Ndlozi in Senegal. Which brings me at long last to the real point of this video, which is to say to you that we know there are puppet masters at work in our social circumstances. We know that what is happening in South Africa cannot possibly be an accident. That runs counter to all common sense and reason. We must reach the ineluctable, the unavoidable conclusion that there are sinister forces at play acting to our detriment. And once we have drawn that unavoidable, rational conclusion, we must then draw the corollary, the extension, that we, Saitlanders, by the grace of God Almighty and through no good in us, because we surely don't deserve it as individuals, are on the right path to prepare for an enormous catastrophe in this country. And the recent burning down of, or burning or arson or torching is the word I'm looking for, the recent torching of 200,000 or approaching 200,000 hectares of farmland at the instigation of the EFF, tied as closely as it is to the African National Congress. The African National Congress, devoted as it is to a national democratic revolution, which includes the eradication of colonialism of a special type, which we have discussed in the past, is going to continue to occur. We must continue to prepare. Slowly but surely, some people are waking up. There are yet many others who refuse to do so, or who are perhaps incapable of doing so. In any case, let us link arms. Let us take one another's hands and stride boldly into a future which appears to be more menacing than anything any of us have experienced in our lifetimes. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you liked it. If you did, please press the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. God bless and keep you. Bye-bye.